Let me ask you something, and I want you to really think about it. Would you still contribute if you knew for a fact that no one would ever thank you? It's a tough question, isn't it? And the answer, well, it reveals way more about us than ambition ever could.
I mean, let's be real. It's pretty easy to do the work when you know there's a reward at the end. You know, a thank you, a little bit of praise, a shout out online. That stuff feels good. It fuels us.
But what we're digging into today is something deeper. We're talking about the kind of impact that doesn't need a spotlight. The kind of legacy that gets built when the contribution itself is the entire point, no strings attached.
So why do we need that credit so badly? Well, it's easy to fall into what you could call the recognition trap. And figuring out what that trap is, that's really the first step to getting out of it.
It really just comes down to being human. It's kind of wired into our DNA. We want to know that what we did mattered. We want validation. We want acknowledgement. We just want proof that our effort wasn't for nothing.
When you boil it all down, that's all recognition really is. It's this simple, powerful message the world sends back to you that just says, hey, you were seen. And let's be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting that.
But here's where it gets tricky. The problem starts when being seen isn't just a nice bonus, it's the entire goal. The moment that happens, your contribution suddenly becomes conditional. And you know what? Conditional contribution, it almost never lasts.
And this really shows the two roads you can take. You've got ego on one side, and it's always asking, are they looking at me? Do they see what I did? It's all about getting acknowledgement. But then you have purpose. Purpose asks a totally different question. Did it help? It's not looking for credit, it's looking for an outcome. And this brings us right to the fundamental difference between just getting attention and actually creating a lasting impact. You know, on the surface, they can look pretty similar, but they're playing a completely different game.
Yeah, look at this breakdown. The trade-offs are so clear. Attention is all about right now, it's loud, it's visible. But impact? Well, that's the long game. It's often quiet, delayed, sometimes you don't see the results for years. It doesn't reward noise, it rewards patience.
You see this play out in leadership all the time. The low-impact leader is focused on activity, looking busy, tracking tasks. But the high-impact leader, they're all about outcomes. They're not just managing people, they're coaching them. And because of that, their influence goes way beyond what they can personally control.
So here's the bottom line. If your motivation, your reason for doing something hinges on being seen, your impact can only ever be as big as the applause you get. It just shrinks right down to that.
So if that's the trap, how do you get out of it? How do you build something that actually lasts? Well, it's not about big, flashy moments. It's all about the power of quiet, steady consistency.
I love this because it just nails it. A real legacy isn't some overnight success story. It's built from thousands of tiny choices you make every single day, especially the choices you make when you think no one's watching. And just think about any strong community you've ever been a part of. Your family, your team at work, your neighborhood. It wasn't built by performers looking for attention. It was built by the people who just kept showing up. You know, there's a weird kind of freedom in that when you stop competing for attention and you just build. And this is how it's done. Showing up. Supporting people without making a big deal about it, quietly fixing things that are broken. When contribution stops being a performance and just becomes part of who you are, part of your character, that's when real trust is built. And trust is an asset that just compounds silently over time.
You know, there's actually a really powerful psychological term for this whole idea of selfless, forward-thinking contribution. It's called generativity, and it's the real key to understanding the legacy we leave behind that we may never even see.
This quote from a teacher, wow, it's such a beautiful way to think about it. The idea that you're a background character in someone else's story, that some small thing you did or said could ripple out for years, influencing things you'll never, ever know about. You might not see it, but that doesn't make it any less real. And here's the official definition from psychology. Generativity is basically this deep concern for guiding the next generation. It's this desire to invest your energy, your wisdom, your self into things that you know will outlive you.
And that's what brings this all full circle. When you're operating from that place, the need to have your name attached to everything, it just kind of fades away. The contribution is the point, not the credit.
So, contributing without recognition isn't a weakness. It's actually a profound kind of strength. It's strength without ego. It's the ability to make a real difference without having to shout about it. It's impact without noise. It's the very definition of a true legacy.
One that's so solid, it doesn't need any self-promotion to stand.
And this is really the whole idea in one sentence. If you can get to a place where you contribute even when you are completely unseen, your influence becomes pure.
There's no ego mixed in, no agenda, just the contribution itself. And that kind of pure influence, well, that's the kind that lasts.